Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm a mindset coach. I should put some makeup on. I have this wonderful boyfriend who adores me, and I need to put some makeup on. My mother would die if she saw me without makeup on. Kidding. Totally kidding. I'm waiting for people to get on. I was doing a Q&A. I'm Molly Sapp, and I'm doing a masterclass on confidence with Becky Dixon. And hi, Andrea. How are you, darling? My connection is weak. Can people see me? Am I okay? Can you see me or talk to me? Andrea, can you let me know if the connection's okay? No? Maybe? Okay, well, whatever. We're going to do this. So, okay, cool. The thing that, I'm going to come over here. The thing that Becky and I are doing a masterclass, and so we're like, talking a lot about it, and I'm doing like, seems okay. Okay. Talking about it and talking a lot about self-belief, and I've been like asking questions or answering questions in threads about like, hi Becky, about like how to deal with self-belief and confidence and shit like that. And I really like, if you have a question, fucking like ask a question. Hi Melissa, how are you, sweetie? I love that picture of you and your husband. It's really hot. I want to like discuss like about self-belief and confidence from like a real like, not like, oh my god, you have to believe in yourself, because I think a lot of like mindset coaches and thought leaders talk about how self-belief is imperative for success, and duh, like obviously fucking duh. And a part of me like wanted to do something with Becky, and I was like, well, what is something that's like really imperative that would be really, really powerful to do with her? And self-belief, like, it's kind of like when it all comes down to it, you have to have self-belief, you have to have confidence, you have to have confidence. And I've been bullied so many fucking times, it's ridiculous. My connection is fucking weak. And I think that, well, obviously when you've been bullied, or when, shit's hit the fan, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, your self-belief is screwed, right? So I think that it's really important to discuss that. Damn it, my connection is fucking weak. I think it's really important to discuss that. So like, how do you get past how do you get past being bullied? How do you get past, my connection is weak. How do you get past that? How do you get past an abusive husband? How do you get past an abusive mom? How do you get past an abusive boss? How do you get past all those things? Because they cannot help but make you not believe in yourself. How do you get past fighting cancer and getting out of cancer and having, surviving, but knowing that one of the most fatal diseases attacked you? So yeah, you believe in yourself that you can conquer something, but maybe there's a party that doesn't believe that, like, because you have cancer or whatever the fuck it might be, that whatever else is not going to attack you. So you're in constant, like, battle, and you can't believe. Whatever it might be, whatever reason. Things come to attack your self-belief. And that's kind of like what we all struggle with and focus on, is how to believe in ourselves. How do we overcome those voices? How do we get past these things? How do we fucking get past these things? I'm a mindset coach, and I do brilliant work with women. They get past a lot of their shit, but I still struggle with it. I know that everybody does. So I kind of want to like talk about that. And I'm kind of like, my method to my madness about how to get rid of the voices in your head that tell you that you can't do it. What if I fuck up? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I do all my mindset work and still nothing changes? What if it doesn't happen? What if this? What if that? Why can't she say yes? Why can't she say she wants to work with me? Why won't she buy? Why will she say she wants to buy and then she'll turn around and say no? Why will she get on the phone with me and ask me questions and want to pick my brain, but she just won't want to buy? Why? All these voices in our heads. And it's my method is to get really connected to that voice, to understand that voice, to know the energetics of that voice, to know how deeply it's affecting you. What if, I will fail? What if I start a business and I get to exactly where I want to be and then I just fuck up royally and I can't sustain it? What if I say that I'm worthy, but really underneath the surface I'm not worthy? What if I do like I did as a kid and tell myself that I'm so fucking brilliant and powerful and I'm going to like go into school and kick ass and, probably don't say that as a kid, but I'm going to, do so good, and you get made fun of by everybody? How do you deal with all that? How do you deal with experiencing those types of situations and then go to build a business for yourself and you can't for the life of you figure out how to get past those voices? Hey, Jonna. How do you get past those voices? How do you get past the fact that you are constantly seeing yourself not show up online, not allow yourself to make the money that you know that you can, know that you're blocking yourself, but you just can't seem to bring yourself to do it? Self-doubt shows up in different kinds of ways. Don't just think that just because you tell yourself that you can't, that's self-doubt. Not showing up online is self-doubt. Not answering messages is self-doubt. Not, hey honey, not getting a one-on-one coach is self-doubt. Not doing classes that you know will fucking change your life is self-doubt. Not throwing down the kind of investments that other 6 and 7 figure earners are throwing down is self-doubt. I had that, like, that was a big one for me, like with investing. I was like, fuck, they just want me to buy their shit. They just want me to buy their shit. They're just getting me to buy their shit. You want to know where that voice came? It came from my mother. My mother lived in utter fear. And until I recognized that's part of what we teach in this masterclass that Becky and I are doing. And I recognized that voice of, they're just trying to get me to buy stuff. No, actually investing is what wealthy people do. So if I'm investing, that means that I believe in myself enough to get something back in return. So if I'm just like, no, that's like, it doesn't look like self-doubt, but man, it is self-doubt. It's got self-doubt written all over it. Or what about, oh, I can't start that business. I can't go to 100K cash months because I wouldn't be able to sustain it. I don't want to make $20,000 to $30,000 a month because then I might actually do something different from my entire identity for my entire life. That's self-doubt. That's lack of self-belief. And let's look at it from the opposite side. What if you're, I can do this, 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 I'm a badass, I'm a badass, I'm a badass, I'm a badass. See how uncomfortable and how stupid and how cliche and how off that feels when you say it to yourself. Say that to yourself and see how embarrassing and how weird and how fucked up it sounds. And then you'll understand how much you're wired to listen to your self-doubt and how much you're probably living according to your self-doubt. And recognize that self-doubt is the number one reason that you will not have the kind of success that you want to in your business. Even if there's chicks on here or are watching on the replay who are making $20, $30, $50, $100, $200,000 a month. If you are not paying attention to your self-doubt, you could be doing a hell of a lot more simply because of that fucking doubt. I don't know if I worded that right, but your doubt is keeping you from doing so much more. So, and it's interesting how as soon as you go up in a level, or you make more money, or you find the love of your life, or you start to have an amazing sex life, or you start to change, things start to change, that doubt comes back. How do you turn off the doubt? How do you know the doubt? Well, I mean, like, I've studied a lot of like manifestation and mindset shit, like in pretty deep depth. And the thing is the negative mind doesn't ever really go away. But you can learn how to turn it down to where, like, a lot of my clients are like 7-figure earners, and they're like, they've been doing this mindset stuff for years, and they'll like, when they'll explain resistance or what's blocking them from going to that next level, they like know, boom, 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 boom. They know exactly what blocks they've got. They know exactly why they're stopping themselves. They know exactly what's going on. They're just at the place that they've done enough mindset work that they're at the place where they're ready to shift. Because when you get to that level, you've done so many shifts that you're at a place where you're like, I may be doubting myself right now, but I know that I can because I've done it so many times before. So what you want to do is you want to start to understand how to overcome that doubt. And that's all in here. It's all in here. So the first thing that I recommend doing is like understanding where that voice came from. And a girl said in my group this morning, she said, when I said that, she was like, well, how do you know when that voice sounds so much like you? You know, because you tune into the divine essence of who you are as a human being. You do because you think of yourself not as you. You do by getting in tune with your ego. Your pure essence. You do it by acknowledging that you can do anything. You do it by getting in tune with the spiritual laws of the universe. I think 10, not 10. See. Yeah. That's my boyfriend's stuff. He's got all this cool stuff back here. But I love him so much. He's such a brilliant man. He's taught me a lot about self-doubt, how to overcome self-doubt. This man's doing like in the process of rolling up $100 million companies. And his biggest thing, like overcoming fear and overcoming self-doubt, just fucking dive into it. Dive into the fear. Do shit that scares you. Jump into it. And I answered a question a week or so ago about how to deal with anxiety. And I noticed that like I would have massive anxiety attacks, and I would it would keep coming up, and it would keep coming up. I would start to have anxiety. And it would be the same symptoms. Like I would get kind of lightheaded, I would get a little bit of chest pains, or I would feel like heartburn, or whatever it was. And I would start to freak out and go into like, oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I started like writing down, where was it coming from? What was it serving me? And then all of a sudden I recognized that I was literally creating more anxiety by like freaking out about the anxiety. So just accepting and diving into the feeling of the anxiety lessened and lowered my anxiety significantly, among a few other things. But it's kind of like fear. Or doubt. Like, okay, so like, let's say that right now you want to book a client this week. It's Thursday. You want to book a client by Sunday. Okay, well, how much potential do you have to book a client by the end of the week? How much potential? How much of a possibility? What's the possibility? And notice your answer. If it's like, not good. Why is that? If we're, if we have infinite possibility to book a client and anything's possible, the voice in my head is, it's my mother. Not saying anything bad about my mother, but it comes from my mother. And we're like, okay, so like me booking a client is not my mother, it's me. So what's me when I'm in my divine essence, power, whatever you want to call it, right? So understanding, like, somebody who's not aware of those things will be like, oh, I don't know if like, and then there's the money side of it. Doubting your ability to handle the money, doubting your ability to be with the money, doubting your ability that the money will come to you, doubting your worthiness of the money. Because when getting a client, there's money involved. You got to recognize the money and the client. Don't forget that. It's very important. So, anybody have any questions? I want questions. Give me questions. Also, somebody asked a question in a thread about, over the next few days, I'm going to be like answering a lot of questions. So if you see threads where I'm saying, give me some mindset questions, you're going to get some epic fucking answers. So one of the girls asked, what did she ask? She asked, like, can you lose weight with a mindset shift? And I've been really addressing a lot of like mindset issues around weight loss because I think it's really important. And I think I lost 25 pounds without dieting and working out from a mindset shift. And I've kept it off for 7 or 8 years. And I eat whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to. So you can make a shift in mindset around weight loss. And I highly recommend Janine Roth. Highly recommend her. But it all comes down to confidence. It all comes down to self-belief. It all comes down to understanding, like, okay, so if I wanted to lose 20 pounds, okay, well, if I start imagining myself as being thin and telling myself and affirming myself that I've been thin, but if I've had 25 times where I've lost weight and gained weight, lost weight and gained weight, and haven't addressed that, then me telling myself that I can and me saying, oh yeah, I totally can, and imagining myself as thin, well, the doubt from those failures is going to keep you from shifting fully. So you want to really think about that. Think about those things and think about how doubt can be moved through and gotten rid of. You can remove yourself from it through confidence, through self-belief. Highly recommend Becky and me and our masterclass because we're going to be covering a lot of this stuff. I really am thrilled about this workshop or masterclass, whatever you want to call it, because a lot of it's about like the voices inside your head, how to go from like, my connection's still weak. Can y'all still see me? No? Yeah? Is it horrible? No? Maybe so. Where did I put my computer? Anyone here? Okay, it's like right here. It's not bad. We're good. Andrea, how are your horses? How's your farm? But yeah, like confidence and self-belief. Like, oh, I should close this door. Confidence and self-belief. Hi, Carrie. You had a question and I answered it and I can't remember. Shit, my battery's dying. But you had a question and I answered it. Yeah, you did. You manifested those horses. Hell yeah, you did. Carrie had a question and she wrote about it in there, and I'm looking at the thread right now. Oh, so I'm looking at the video. No. Not that. Video. Hang on. Carrie, did you have a question? We're talking mindset questions and confidence and self-belief. I did, but was about to get it. It was about giving up really quick. Oh, yeah. That's a big one. That's a big one because, like, people who give up really quickly, there's, like, I guarantee you whatever it is that you give up quickly on, you don't think you deserve it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Do you, like, is that resonating at all with you? I can guarantee it. Someone who gives up quickly, like, if you give up quickly, you can't get it. Or you don't think you're going to get it. But if you kept going, you would get it. Like business. If I gave up in the first couple of months, I wouldn't have gotten where I've gotten to. I don't know if I'm using the right language. But I didn't. Think about that. Like, really think about that. Shit. Anybody else have a question? The connection's weak. Okay. Or no one's... Yeah, the whole, like, not good enough thing. That's, like... What is enough? It's okay. What is enough? Think about that. And, like, reminder, Becky is fucking epic at, like... This woman went from, like, $5,000... I don't even know the whole story, but she's, like, 1.2 million a year, and I'm doing, like, 360K so far, and I'm in my, like, 12th month of business or something. We're both doing pretty damn well. We both have pretty, like, bullied backgrounds. So, and I've constantly given up on shit so many fucking times. It is ridiculous. So, I highly recommend our masterclass. It's June 1st and June 8th. But I feel like the connection's weak, and I feel like I should go. But I really want to address any questions that anybody's having. Does anybody have any questions? Hold on, wait. I see Jen. Jen Wyndham. There was another question that came up that, the whole, like, well, this isn't really a question, but this is something that I've seen in the past, like, couple of days about people when you've been abused and bullied and you kind of, like, or you've been kind of imprisoned by your own shit or your family or whatever it might be. That's going to keep you from believing in yourself. Even if it wasn't necessarily negative, it's going to keep you from, like, believing in yourself, because there's a big payoff to believing in yourself. There's some pretty epic shit from believing in yourself. And if you don't, then you're not going to, like, I mean, you can get some things. You can have a decent life. But, like, when you fully believe in yourself, miracles, magic, crazy shit happens. Crazy shit happens. Crazy shit happens. And some people are scared of that. Some people would rather stay in doubt. That's a big thing about overcoming self-doubt. Like, good God, that is, like, the answer. People will constantly talk about, how do I develop self-belief? How do I have a consistent daily mindset practice for self-belief? You have to understand what the doubt and the giving up and the, like, you know, being in the pain of the past, how is it serving you? Because if you believe in yourself and you have confidence, you're not going to be in, like, wallowing in your shit. And I don't mean that it's not what you went through is not valid or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, being in confidence and self-belief is a totally different vibration than being in doubt and fear. And so if you're, like, thank you for the hearts. If you are in doubt, there's a payoff to it. There's something positive about it. And you can't shift into full confidence and full belief if you're loving being in doubt. So this is when you got to, like, ask yourself some deep fucking questions. This is when you got to face some deep shit. This is when you got to go, maybe I'm not doing EFT or affirmations or mantras because I'm afraid of getting out of the damn doubt. And a part of me kind of likes the doubt because a part of me gets to blame my mom and dad or the ex-husband or whoever, and I don't really have to get out of my comfort zone. Because if I were to let this shit go and to own my confidence, to own my belief in myself, then I would probably be making some crazy cool shit happen. And that scares me. Or that doesn't feel as comfortable as sitting on my couch and eating bonbons. Or that doesn't feel as comfortable to me as not ever getting any clients and just kind of, like, trying to figure out how to get clients. How about when the bullying still continues in the family? Hi, Carrie Ann Shepherd. How are you, sweetie? That's a Texas girl right there. How the bullying continues in the family. That's a tough one. I'm dealing with that myself. How do you deal with it? You gotta recognize what it's doing to you. You gotta recognize the pain that it's causing you and the damage that it's causing. and you have to make a choice. I'm not saying leave your family or abandon your family or whatever. I'm saying that you got to understand how it's affecting you, because it can affect you on levels and like in ways that aren't necessarily that you're not aware of. So like if, like, for example, if I have a mother or a father who is verbally or mentally abusive, and I don't live with her. I'm not saying this is my mother. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically here. I don't live with her, but she's abusive. If I'm building a business and I need to believe in myself, then how the fuck, pardon me, but how the fuck can I believe in myself when the woman who brought me into the world is telling me what a horrible, fucked up human being I am and making me feel like I deserve to be treated like crap? Then that goes into when I get online and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I don't deserve anything. Why am I not attracting clients? I'm such a fuck up. And it just kind of turns inward, and all you're creating is what you've been creating. I hide a lot because I don't want family to see what I'm doing. It holds me back from being visible. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. You're not alone there. Hell, I do that. I've been like, I'm being honest here. I have not done live streams for my personal page because I have like over 5,000 people on my personal page that like I know are abusive people, and I just don't want to clear it out, or I'm just resisting it. So I just do streams and Facebook groups. I need to, though. Thank you for sharing that. I think that you can, if you like are afraid of your family finding out stuff, I think you can put yourself out there in Facebook groups, and you can do it without like them knowing. And then when you build that a bit, you can you'll have a lot more power and confidence to go do it. Like for me, doing a live stream from my personal page, I'll get over it. I'll probably do it within the next couple of days. You guys can call me out on it. Yeah, if I don't do it in the next couple of days, PM my ass and be like, go do a live stream on your page. I refuse to tell my mom what I do. I don't need that shit from her. Yeah. The thing about that is like, you don't need that shit from her. None of us need that shit from mom or dad or whoever the fuck it is. You got to understand that if you're engaging in it, you're allowing it to continue. But there is a fine line of like giving up relationships with parents and all that shit. If it's marriage, the number one thing that I would do is I would ask myself, why did I get into that relationship in the first place? And what's the divine lesson here? And then I would say, what would I say? I would say, do everything you can to clear up your own shit and face whatever this person is showing back to you. Like if you have an abusive parent and you're, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, parents and siblings. Okay. I would ask, oh shit, my battery's about to die. I would find out, why do I believe I deserve to be treated that way? Is it because they raised me? And is it because I'm scared of anything else? Is it because I don't believe that I deserve anything better? Oh shit. I'm back. Technical difficulties, everyone. Do I think that I not deserve anything better? And usually if you've been raised by people who are abusive and you've been around people who are abusive, then that's kind of what you believe. So notice if you've been around those people, that's what you believe. So if you shift the way that you believe, what's going to happen is you're going to either the relationships with your family is going to shift and change. There's going to be healing in those relationships, or you're going to find power and confidence to be able to release yourself from those relationships, or at least distance yourself from them. And that's something when I was, I'll be really, really, really vulnerable here. When I was building my business, at the very, very beginning. I was like, I'm not telling my parents anything, because I was notorious for giving up quickly and not following through. And it was just like, my parents were just like, oh God, Molly, like, here we go again, here we go again, here we go again. And it was like, I was kind of like, it was almost funny and charming how like, I was like, you know, the one who gave up all the time. And instead I was like, I really want to do this. I want to do this fully, and I want to do it, you know, successfully. And I know that if I tell them, they may not do it in a mean way, but they're going to be reflecting back to me that I feel this deep within. I feel that I can't ever, you know, continue to do something. So it's like, it's not necessarily them that are being abusive, although it's fucked up, but it's kind of like, if you have a friend who's like tried something 18 times and given up within, you know, a couple of months, it's kind of like, okay, all right, you know. But I mean, I knew that it was kind of my responsibility as a human being, if I didn't want that mirrored back to me, to shut the fuck up and do the work. So I just kept quiet. And within like, I remember like picturing the phone calls, picturing me telling my parents and my family that I had a $5,000 month, picturing my family dynamics shifting and changing because I was doing something that was totally outside what I had been identified as. And so it was like, I had to get really clear and really honest with myself about the fact that I had a particular program that was not in alignment with somebody who made a multi-six-figure business or seven-figure business. And I had to address that, even though it may have come from my family. I took that belief on. I took it on. Maybe I didn't take it on, you know, like I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it, but it was there. And that's part of like doing the mindset work and owning your confidence and your self-belief. Taking divine responsibility can give you an insane amount of fucking confidence. Because what it does is, it's like taking divine responsibility, you're recognizing that you are choosing your reality right now. You are choosing your reality right now. Hey, Emily, you're choosing your reality right now. So if you are not making the money that you want, you're not in the body that you want, and you're not married to the person that you want, or you're not having the sex that you want, you have a divine responsibility to shift that, because the only person who can shift that is you. And understanding like, I'm creating this. I'm the person who has been on 100 different diets and given up. I am the person who has not allowed myself to have financial success. I am the person, I am these things. That doesn't mean that I have to stay this way forever, but I am this way. I am this way because of whatever reason, and that's where you figure that out. Hi, sweetie. And then you have the responsibility, and you have the ability to shift it. And when you take like ownership of that, you're like, oh God, I'm scared. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm capable. I don't think I'm worthy. I don't think that I'm good enough. I don't think. Notice, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm worthy enough. I don't think this about myself. Well, a thought can fucking shift. A thought can fucking shift. So what you need to do there is you need to go, okay, so I need to change my thoughts. And then like, I don't know about you, but the type of person who doesn't follow through on things and is constantly giving up really fast doesn't really want to take divine responsibility for their thoughts, because that means that they're going to turn into the super responsible, successful person that is totally opposite of the person who gives up really quickly. Totally opposite. It's not as fun. The person who gives up fast is fun, is, you know, charming and sexy and fun, and, you know, everybody loves this person because she's not a threat to anybody. She doesn't bug anybody. She just kind of like dances to her own little drummer. Nobody's threatened by her. But when she takes divine responsibility for her thoughts, she can like create insane results, because a person who has that kind of passion and drive and blissfulness going on, anybody can do magic with that. And that's kind of the way it is with everybody. I'm not just saying this one particular type of person, but think about those things. Remember, and when you fully own your confidence and own your ability to do shit, miracles will happen. So that's why I love Becky Dixon. That's why I love this woman. I'm going to look at my computer real quick. See if anybody's asking any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? Questions? Who has questions? Nobody has questions? Y'all are quiet today. Fuck me. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to talk a little bit about romance. I have attracted a man who gives me like multiple consistent orgasms. So Molly, do you have a routine that you do that helps you stay accountable with your new thought patterns? That's a good question. Usually what I did, given that I was so like, oh, I give up too fast, I just focused on one fucking thing. If it was my first 5K month, it was my first 5K month, and like laser fucking focus. Does your face get sore from tapping? That's a good question. I usually tap primarily right here. I'll go for walks and tap here or here. And if my face gets sore, it's usually because I've been doing deep tapping or I'm being a little bit over obnoxious about it. And not that that's a bad thing, but like once or twice it's happened, but not normally though. I don't ever mind it. But I have like, whenever that does happen, I'm kind of like, oh, I've done some serious mad tapping. Molly's been doing some fucking work. Molly wants to change. That's good shit right there. But Jonna, accountable to new thought patterns. Honestly, what I would do is I would focus laser hard on one thing. I have clients who have like 15 different goals at once, and it's like, that just kind of has me in 10 different things, and it kind of like, it's kind of almost distracts me from what I want. So instead, like, I'll focus on one thing, and then when I'm ready to like shift big, like create like 10 different new thought patterns, I get a one-on-one coach. Always. I mean, the thing about having a one-on-one coach, and I mean like working with them consistently, because when I hired Becky, I was kind of like, I didn't realize this, but it came up. It was like, I didn't fully believe that coaches could really change people's lives. I just thought they would say some shit and they wouldn't really change people's lives. So I was kind of like, when I was working with her one-on-one weekly, I was like, oh my fucking God, this is like really deeply doing some work that I could not do alone. I've given up a lot. What I've noticed is I get an ahas that I work on, the life jumps in, subconscious takes over. Days later, I think, oh yeah, the new thought, I forgot. Yeah, that happens for me too. That actually, I'll give you a really good specific thing. I was working on being more in my body, and how about when you worked with a coach and nothing changed, resistance? I will cover that in just a second, because I've been there, totally been there. $100,000 I spent and didn't get there. I hear you. But the hold on, what was I saying? The thing about shifting into new thought patterns is that the coach having a one-on-one coach is really going to stay on you about that. Like, an example would be, I had been working up until this past like round that I hired these new coaches for a certain two specific areas of my life. And I had been working on my own, and I had been attracting the same type of situations where I would have this aha, and then life would take over, and I would go back to like doing some other shit because life would get in the way and I couldn't handle focusing on it. And then it came a moment where I was like, okay, I really want to change. Thank you. He brought me dinner. I really want to change. And it's kind of like when you have someone that you talk to weekly about mental shit and like different types of, like, I have an EFT practitioner and I have a mindset coach. I have two different types of, and both of them work on different things with me. But like and I see them once a week. So, or I talk to them once a week. So it's like there's shifts going on constantly, and I'm like, I know that I've paid that person a lot of fucking money to help me break through this. So it's like I have to put myself in a position where it's not just like, oh my God, I had this aha and now it's going to change my life. I was like, I have to fucking do this, because if I don't, I'm literally throwing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars away for nothing. That's the honest to God truth. That is the honest to God truth. Like, I wish I could say something different because I don't want to seem salesy, but like, that's the answer. The only other time is when like I stopped everything else and put my entire life on hold and focused primarily only on that until I got a shift. That made me literally like nuts, but that's what I did. How about when you've worked with a coach and nothing's changed? This is a really fucking good question. Okay. When you've worked with a coach and nothing has changed, it means primarily that you didn't want to change. And yeah, it's resistance, of course. But there's a part of you that and there could be a part of you that wasn't ready for change. So, like, I worked with this EFT practitioner a couple of months ago, and nothing changed. I got some awareness, but then I hired another EFT practitioner, and I'm having like, whoa, breakthroughs. So it could be that, like, and pay attention to this. I hired her and nothing really changed, but I had some awareness. But I recognized, okay, either I have massive resistance or this it's just not a right fit, and I could give up. And I almost didn't hire another EFT practitioner. I was this close to not hiring her. But I hired her, and let me tell you, yesterday I like cried like the entire tapping session, like deep releasing of some deep dark shit that I've held on to for years. And I don't think that I could have gotten to that place had I not worked with somebody to get me to the level of awareness, because there's levels of resistance. There's levels of like, you know, like, yeah, whatever. And then there's levels of like, I'm starting to feel shit. And then there's like the deep pain. And there's like, you know, several levels of pain in order to like clear shit out. So if you've had coaches where nothing has changed, I'm guessing, number one, you didn't believe that you could change. Two, you didn't believe in yourself that somebody would want to help you change. And three, you probably didn't think that you were the type of person that could get change. And, or maybe you didn't want to change because you wanted to hold on to the pain because it was comfortably uncomfortable. Yeah. Fuck, I'm waking up at 2 a.m. doing that. I need to get together. I need to get it done. I need to change. I've got a decent amount of money on the line. I need it to sink in. We can talk about that when I'm in San Francisco. Yeah, if anybody's going to be in San Francisco area, Thrive, June 3rd through the 5th or 6th, I'm going to be in San Francisco. So if you want to do a VIP intensive or whatever, hit me up and let me know. I love the West Coast. Like, I love the West Coast. Carrie, does that answer that question if you're still on? Because that's like, and that's another thing, like, this is another pattern that people like who give up really easily need to be aware of. Because think about it. Let's say that you're a person who gives up really quickly. The person who gives up really quickly will attract coaches, but they won't get epic shifts because they are looking for a reason to give up. And if you get epic shifts, you're not going to give up. you won't give up. Like, think about it. So there's a party that wants to give up and wants to say, no, fuck this. I don't want to continue. I don't want the success, or I don't want to see that this is actually fucking working. So instead, you'll attract coaches where you won't get the kind of result that you want, to give you the reason to give up, to give you the reason to prove that you're a fuck up, to give you the reason to prove that you can't get it, to give you the reason to not follow through, to give you the reason to, holy shit, that's like, and so like the person attracts the type of coach who, and now that I'm thinking about the clients that I've worked with who've given up really quick, it's like there's a part of them that doesn't want it, give up, as well as because of constant burnout. That's like, the thing about constant burnout is people who, how do I say this? People who like will go into constant burnout, you're either giving up too quickly, or you're going to cause yourself to have to give up, which is burnout. So it's like the same side of the coin. It's kind of like somebody who's like neurotically dieting and then somebody who's binging profusely. It's the same damn thing. It's kind of like super unhealthy. So the person who gives up quickly, who is also the person who doesn't get results with the coach. So if you, and here's the thing that you want to remember, because I really want to talk to people who like have who have a pattern of giving up too quickly, or have a pattern of having a coach and then not getting results with the coach. The thing, I'm going to answer that question in just a second, Jane. The thing about that is you want to remember that if you hired a coach, even if it's 10 years later, and you got some sort of shift, but you didn't really fully get the shift, I want you to think about what might happen if you have this kind of awareness about the fact that you might not be getting results with the coach because you don't want them. Like, but you realize that you do want them. And what if you're this close to hiring the right coach that gives you the breakthroughs beyond your wildest dreams? Not necessarily saying that the coach is going to give you the breakthroughs, but you doing the work coach can give you those kinds of breakthroughs.